Before I go further into accessibility, I am actually hearing impaired myself, and since I was 8, and because I'm now in my mid-30s, I've had quite an experience with how it is to live with a disability, especially on hearing and watching TV, sitting in meetings, etc. Since working in e-learning, working with courses, wherever we have multimedia, it's really difficult for me to listen and understand voiceover aspects of a course. So if, according to the Australian Welfare Institute, 1 in 6 Australians have a disability, I would be included in that. As a developer, I would like to make sure that every person with a disability can still do courses exactly like a normal person. So simple features like provide closed captions for videos, so you don't have to focus on the listening, but you can also read what is being said in a video. If you cannot use your hands to do a course, that the use of a mouse is difficult, or the use of keyboard is difficult, that we can provide alternative features to still hand over the course material to you. If you got something with your vision, that you can turn on high contrast on a course, and the whole course shows, instead of white and black, it turns it the other way around. So text are in yellow and white. Or even the text size that you can increase and you zoom into the content. That is sort of the key features we've built into our courses to make sure that you can't really discriminate, or we can't really have any learners that are not able to do a course because of their disability. That's the core part behind this. So WCAG 2.1 AA. WCAG stands for Web Accessibility Content Guidelines. 2.1 is basically a version number of what type of guidelines there are, and AA stands for the level of guidelines you need to comply to. If you would label a website, web application, or in our case our course as WCAG 2.1 AA compliant, that means that we have made sure that the guidelines provided are being complied to. There are 3 levels. One is A, AA, AAA. A is a really basic level, level of compliance. 2 is a little bit more difficult, which government organizations, government and a lot of organizations need to comply to by their own rules, I would say, or legislation. And AAA is for the most difficult level. So, for example, if you have dyslexia, and you would like to go to a website, then the website is ideally best to comply with A standard. A will make sure that the readiness level on a website is simple, that a person with dyslexia can still read whatever on the website. This is an example. AA is more for me, for example, that whatever content is being provided, that is an alternative for it if you can't take that over. So closed captions for video is an example on that. AAA is for people with severe disabilities, such as deaf people who don't communicate by talking and listening, but by using sign language. So take, for example, when there's a fire in rural Australia, you watch ABC on TV, you will always see someone doing sign language next to the person doing a press conference, just to make sure that people with a severe disability can read, can look at the interpreter. That is a AAA example. AAA is really difficult to comply to in web applications. Not impossible, but it's really difficult to comply to. But most organizations require at least to go to AA standards, and that's what we want to do. Best class accessibility on our products. It means that for all users, that there's actually no difference in, you have a disability or you're a normal person. If I would open a course, I would probably turn on some features to make sure that it is adjusting for me. For example, I want to hear voiceover at a normal pace. I would turn closed captions on for video. Actually, that's for me, that's all. But if you have a disability on your eyes, like if you're colorblind, that you use high contrast on, you only have to turn that on once. The system will remember it for you. And on every course you open, even a year later, that all those settings are being saved for you, that the courses are adjusted for your needs. That is, to me, that is best accessibility. I think we have come to the point where we're not sure how much further we can improve. However, that being said, with our learner feedback tool, at the end of a course, every learner can leave an experience, a suggestion, like a review, a comment behind that we will review at least once a month. And I'm always hoping for a bit of feedback on accessibility, how can we improve our product, simply by listening to our learners, because that's the sort of input we can get from them, how we can improve accessibility.